quickly try again. Stall 7, her intended destination. Half in. No, she's reared out again, I'm afraid, or backed out, hit reverse. So Steel Duchess just delaying the loading process here. Time for the blindfolds to come on. And the massed ranks of the race tech team now just having to get a little bit more serious with her. Steel Duchess then tries again. She's been here a couple of times before, just taking now, or needing to take another step forward. Meanwhile, Hammock goes in, Steel Duchess in fine. Night Traveller will be the last one, so the race tech team come up trumps again. And they're off and racing, and the well-backed Ticana was the slowest away by some way as the Save My Soul 2023 handicap gets underway. Arpina and Hammock are the first two to show. Laurentia tucks in on the wide outside Night Traveller, with favourite Lake Sand next. Lake Sand followed by Steel Duchess and the big white face of Moving for Gold. And if you've taken part in this mini gamble on Ticana, well, fingers tightly crossed, because after a slow start, Ticana is still last as they head into the back straight. Hammock together now with Night Traveller, who improves on the outside. Arpina just in behind them on the rail. Laurentia out slightly wide. Lake Sand comes next, followed by Steel Duchess, and after Steel Duchess, race is Moving for Gold, and Ticana still last, but at least is in touch now as they head then past the halfway stage of the race. Hammock then leads them to home. Hammock, with just over 3 to run, is a length clear now. Night Traveller second, Arpina really going to work in third. Laurentia knows where the winning post is and closing in a bit now on the outside to take third. Meanwhile, Lake Sand is flat out in 5th, not really picking up yet. Neither's Moving for Gold. Ticana's round the outside trying to attack late. Back markers now Steel Duchess as they head for home. Furlong and a half left to go. Night Traveller has the lead from Hammock. Laurentia on the outside, followed then by Arpina. They're followed by Lake Sand and Ticana plugging on, but Night Traveller and Hollie Doyle look well in charge here. Night Traveller clear by 3 lengths. Arpina and Laurentia battle second, but it's an easy win for Night Traveller, who won by 4. Arpina and Laurentia tight for second and third there, with Lake Sand in 4th place.
Well, we've had some tight finishes tonight here at Chelmsford, but there's no doubt about this winner, the 4 white socks of Night Traveller, scooting to victory and breaks her maiden tag on the 10th attempt with Hollie Doyle on board. And second, you can see Arpina far side of Laurentia and Lake Sand. And, well, this daughter of Night of Thunder, she's bred to be better than what she's shown so far. And she returned from a break to run poorly at Southall in December, but she's back here with a really strong run in a race where they didn't go that fast early on, and it was Hammock who showed early speed, and Night Traveller was given a nice ride by Hollie Doyle, who got her in a good early position. She had plenty of daylight, but looking around for the challenges in behind, Laurentia was being asked by Charlie Bennett to go away and try and pose a bit of a threat, but nothing was coming out of the pack. Ticana completely missed the break and was detached early on, with Taylor Fisher having to ready this horse into the pack. And once he asked this horse to find an extra couple of gears, there was nothing there. Lake Sand was the disappointment. He wasn't really ever travelling properly for Luke Morris, and this was a weak enough contest. And Night Traveller, bred to be better than this, Rachel, she's got her win under her belt, and she's done it quite takingly.
Well, it couldn't be any easier, could it? First career success, and to win like that, I'm sure her connections and the Longview Stud team will be absolutely delighted. Tony Carroll and Hollie Doyle likewise. George, impressive.
Yeah, job done. Good trip round. The race was run at what I would call an even gallop. And that was sort of Shane Kelly's objective from stall 4, and Hammock was very aggressive into stride. And when I just think an even gallop, and Hollie was able to sort of gradually tuck over from stall 6 without having to use much force. She's travelling quite strongly there, isn't she, Rachel, and in Hollie's hands, and was able to sort of be one off the rail in the perfect sort of.
Well, she's just
Chelmsford
skipping along.
trip.
It just looks all so straightforward, really.
Very smooth, and she didn't get in a fight with her. She just gradually reined her back around that first part of the bend and down the back straight. Was able to just sort of, as Shane Kelly sort of pulled the pace up and Constantine in the field, Hollie's able to sort of follow suit as such.
Yeah, there was a big gamble on Takana, the filly, who's at the back, although she could have been further back because she completely missed the kick, was slow away, but she actually travelled well enough into the race. I thought that she might be able to get involved, but I think it was a shame the fact that she was just so bad at the start.
Yeah, for sure, and that just meant she was on the back foot in a race where it wasn't stop-start by any means, but they went hard to get a position and then pulled up, and Hollie was perfectly placed on the winner. You can see Charlie Bennett, who's aware that the race is developing in front of him, peeled off that last bend on Laurentia, and Lake Sand looked quite awkward under pressure, travelled okay, but Luke was hunting along from sort of going into the top bend and looked quite ungainly under pressure.
It was sort of a laboured finish, really, wasn't it? It just all looked just really hard work for him.
Yeah, and I felt we saw it last time when running at Chelmsford, lugging left and not wanting to go forward, and Luke was prepared for that, go around the top bend, but he was just sort of very awkward late on.
And Alpina, she's a filly who's, she's going to be 0 from 18 now, but she's bang in the mix once again, and she's been runner-up a fair few times. There's surely a race to be won with her. Just becoming a little bit frustrating, I'm sure, but a filly who gives her all.
Yeah, she's straightforward, limited, but I just think it was a pretty poor race for the grade, and congratulations to Tony Carroll and the owners of Night Traveller, because it was very much job done to find a race. She's dropped down the weight slightly, they tweaked the trip, and it's all worked out well.
Yes, and worked out very well. An impressive performance for the grade, and has absolutely hacked up. Night Traveller, first victory from 10 career starts. Hollie Doyle on board for Tony Carroll. 7-1 was the prize. And Alpina 13-2 with Laurentia back in third at 11-2. Just the 4 lengths separating first and second. So easy for Night Traveller. The winning time was 139.44, and that was 384 above the standard. So that's 6 races in. We have got 1 more to come. The finale just around the corner, but